Right, good evening. My name is Dr. Olufemi Ogunsanya. I'm the founder, managing director of Oxbridge Tutorial College. Oxbridge is 27 years old, and for the very first time, we had a virtual graduation ceremony. Usually, a graduation ceremony is the valedictory service followed by a reception, both at the Haven and at Archbishop Viney Church Cathedral. But this year, because of the pandemic in 2020, we had to revert or pivot to the online graduation ceremony. Initially, one wasn't quite sure if it was going to happen. We wanted to just make souvenirs for the students, but the students insisted that since they had made their graduation outfits, their chosen color theme was champagne gold. They wanted to wear their champagne gold. So luckily, I came across a company called Weby, and I made sure that I watched other things they had done before for live productions online. And I was quite impressed by what I saw. And therefore, I invited Weby to work along with us, to partner with us to put together a virtual graduation ceremony. It all started with meetings, given all the information, providing all the information that the company needed from members of the Oxbridge family, my staff, working along with them, supplying everything, supplying the platform, the Zoom platform. Everything was so efficiently managed. We had Mr. Victor Jufobi, who leads the Weby team, insisted that we must have rehearsals. I didn't understand at the beginning what he meant by rehearsals, but we had briefing sessions, and then we had our first rehearsal. And I was so pleasantly surprised by what I saw during that first rehearsal, how much he had put together. Because, you know, when you are planning, or when one is planning a virtual event, one does not really know what it's going to look like or how it will all pan out. But from that very first meeting, rehearsal, seeing what had been put together, the graphics, the new background music, I was quite pleased, pleasantly surprised, but very pleased indeed. And thereafter, we started adding other things on. He did the designs because what we wanted was to showcase all the students who were graduating. And our numbers are quite large. So we had 112 students graduating. He did the graphic design for each student, with their names, the programs they covered, they studied at Oxbridge. He also had graphic designs of all the students with their coats, because we are very big on coats at Oxbridge Tutorial College. And it was all just very impressive, the neatness, the clean lines, the efficiency with which everything had been prepared and managed for us to see. So by the time we had the second rehearsal, we had students on the platform who joined and made suggestions, and the students were very, very keen on seeing themselves being projected in their outfits. Weby, Mr. Jufobi was able to accommodate everything that we wanted. But what impressed me the most was that on the actual day of the event, he had gone beyond the call of duty to provide additional equipment, so that there were a few of us in the hall at Oxbridge to watch or to participate in the live program. It was a blended program. There was the live part in the hall, and there was the virtual part on Zoom. And he had provided screens so that we could watch what was going on Zoom in the hall. And it was all such a rewarding experience. And the general comment from the students, from parents, because we followed online on Zoom, the various comments, from members of the Oxbridge Advisory Board, from the staff within the college, was that it was very well organized. And I know a friend of mine who then asked, who did the graphics? Who did that program for you? That it was such an amazing program, and that people, it lasted beyond the expected time. We had anticipated, we had checked time, we had allocated specific times, and we had said it wouldn't last beyond 1 hour, 45 minutes. It lasted 3 hours. People stayed all the way to the end. And that's the testimony that really they were engaged and they loved the graphics, the music, everything that was put together by Weby Walk. And that really then made it a very, very successful event. So I'd like to say a big thank you to Mr. Ajufobi for all the hard work, because I know he hardly slept, building up to the day of the actual event, to his team, Thompson, and the other member of the team. They worked very hard indeed. They ensured that everything was efficiently coordinated to make it a memorable event. Thank you very much indeed, Weby Walk. And I therefore would recommend anybody who is planning a virtual event, Weby Walk, Mr. Ajufobi is the start and stop, and that's where to go to. Thank you very much.